Hello, coolers, and welcome back to Viva Barca. Welcome to the home of everything Barcelona, where we are going to be discussing on the latest developing stories. We start with this transfer report. According to ARA, Barcelona are now looking at this Real Betis midfield mainstay Guido Rodriguez as a possible cost-effective alternative for Martin Zubimendi. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then to conclude, talking about second choice goalkeeper Inaki Pena, it has been reported that Barcelona tabled first formal renewal offer for the 23-year-old La Masia graduate. So guys, before we get right into it in much detail, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. At this point, it is well established that Barcelona are in the market for a new pivot midfielder, as Sergio Busquets is set to bid goodbye to the team at the end of the season. The veteran midfielder's contract expires at the end of the season, and he has no intentions of signing a new deal, meaning he will move on in the summer as a free agent. With a vacancy set to be created, Barca have been linked with a host of midfield options. However, Martin Zubimendi of Real Sociedad has emerged as the preferred candidate for manager Xavi Hernandez. The 23-year-old Barcelona, however, comes with a massive release clause of 60 million euros, which is likely to make things difficult for Barcelona given their tricky financial situation. And according to ARA, Barcelona are now looking at Real Betis midfield mainstay Guido Rodriguez as a possible cost-effective alternative for Martin Zubimendi. The 28-year-old has been with the Verde Blancos since January 2020 when he arrived from Mexican side Club America. He has been a permanent fixture in the middle of the park for Real Betis under Manuel Pellegrini. Even though he has largely operated as a part of a double pivot for Real Betis, Barcelona coaching staff believe that the Argentina international can operate as a lone pivot at the base of the midfield. Rodriguez is contracted with the La Liga club until 2024 and has a greater release clause than that of Martin Zubimendi, with the amount standing at 80 million euros. However, with Real Betis facing problems with salary cap and financial fair play, they would be willing to negotiate a lower fee for the 28-year-old. Barcelona have other options like Ruben Neves and Jorginho, but the coaching staff are not entirely convinced about the pair, while N'Golo Kante's option is seen as financially difficult due to the signing bonus he is likely to demand. Rodri of Manchester City is said to be another player on the radar, but this signing looks so impossible because he's a key player there. With Zubimendi signing a new contract at Real Sociedad, negotiating with them could be tricky for Barca. But as far as Guido is concerned, he will enter the final year of his contract in 2023, and Real Betis' financial problems give Barca leverage and room to negotiate a lower fee. Barcelona continue to hunt for a new defensive midfielder to prepare for life without Busquets, as he will leave the club as soon as his contract expires. Of course, likely to move to MLS side Inter Miami from the look of things. And we've been talking about some players whose name have been featuring countless number of times in transfer reports in newspapers there in Spain. Zubimendi have always been the top choice for Xavi and his coaching staff, Ruben Neves as well. In fact, Kante, Jorginho, I can't count the number of players we have been mentioning in our news when it comes to Barca's hunts for a new DM, and now getting a new name from Real Betis. Barcelona want to ensure that they get not just a DM but a very reliable DM, So it's going to be difficult though. Barcelona, as things stand, they don't even know who will likely be the new DM. We just have players who are randomly linked to the club, and you can't tell that, look, this player will likely be at Barca, but they are just trying to keep their options open. So it's going to be tricky, no doubt about that. And of course, this guy who have been linked from Real Betis, even though I don't know much about him, but it's just risk. But if Barca see him as an alternative for their first choice, not even second or third choice, the alternative for their first choice, Martin Zubimendi, then definitely it means I think he has that quality. He has a quality that Barca would like to have in the squad. So let's see how it goes. But he's not a free agent. His release clause is 80 million euros according to report. So Barcelona will need to do some negotiations if they want to ensure that they lower that price. Of course, Barcelona will definitely find it hard to get any DM when it comes to a DM that still have value, because we have a bunch of those players who are free agents now. But it seems as though if things continue the way it is when it comes to our finances, Barca will likely prioritize a free agent. Then moving on to the next story of discussion, Inaki Pena is one of many Barcelona players staring an uncertain future at the club. The goalkeeper's current deal at the club expires at the end of the season. Even though the player only returned from his loan spell from Galatasaray in the summer, Pena's situation at Camp Nou has alerted a host of clubs across Europe, with many of them hoping to secure his services on a free transfer in 2022. However, Barcelona have no intention to see their goalkeeper leave the club for free at the end of the season. As such, they are keen on extending the contract of the 23-year-old keeper, who is regarded as the primary alternative for Marc-Andre ter Stegen. According to Josep Capdevila, Barca have already kickstarted their plans to renew Pena's contract. They have launched their first formal contract offer for the goalkeeper, and it appears the negotiations between the club and the player are open. Inaki Pena, though, remains calm in dealing with the situation and is in no hurry to make a decision. This is hardly surprising, given the fact that the Spaniard has not been able to make much of an impact at Camp Nou this season, with ter Stegen emerging as one of the best performing goalkeepers in Europe this season. It has been very difficult for Inaki Pena to start matches for Barca. In fact, the young goalkeeper has mustered only one appearance in all competitions this season. Came in the final UEFA Champions League death rubber game against Victoria Pleasant. Given the form of Marc-Andre ter Stegen right now, it is unlikely Pena will be able to make waves at Camp Nou anytime soon. Not to mention the 23-year-old La Masia graduate is also facing competition from Arno Teners, another young goalkeeper looking to make his mark in the senior side. So guys, with that we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.